Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Talking Packers with Steve. Sorry about that, just getting the volume down off my TV there so I can be heard and not have background noise. Very unprofessional of me. But first, I just wanted to get my plugs out before I get into topics. I don't have too much to talk about tonight. The main thing that's going to be driving the engine of this, it's going to be the engine of this episode, Tom Brady situation. The ruling that came down this morning, I did tweet it out both on my personal handle at Army_Strong_06 and this podcast handle at Talking_Packers, as you can see right there, below my name. So I was able to tweet those out. We're going to try to find those tweets, retweet them, favorite them, whatever you would like to do. Also, welcome to like, subscribe, share this video, subscribe to the channel, like and share the video. If you're not subscribed to this NFL podcast, my wrestling podcast might be coming back. I do weekly reviews of MTV's show Scream, but that one's on a hiatus now. With the end of the first season, going into the second season in early 2016, hopefully in April. But definitely check out all the other videos, all the other episodes of my Scream review, and getting that done. So, but right here, obviously, it would be NFL, and it's going to be Tom Brady. I invited a lot of people, a lot of sports people, YouTubers, and others. I don't know if they are up at this late, but if they are, hopefully they make it. If they don't, that's fine. I can. It's a one-man show, anyways. So while I wait for them, I might as well talk about other things and other big news, and one of them being about RG3. RG3, not going to be named the starter there in Washington for the Washington Redskins. They're going with Kirk Cousins, who played at Michigan State, who was a pain in the butt for me as a Badger fan. Fan of the Wisconsin Badgers, but with the Washington Redskins, they think they've seen enough of him. They're going to put him in the starting line. RG3 is going to be back up, and it could signal something interesting, which a lot of people have already said, and so I'm not the last one, nor the first one, obviously, to say this, but it seems the rift between head coach Jay Gruden and RG3 might be getting bigger and bigger as we speak. And from that said rift, the Washington Redskins might be looking to trade RG3. I mean, I know that might be a crazy thought, especially for everything they gave up to draft him a couple years ago. And he had a great rookie season comparing with Andrew Luck. Those two kind of being, going to be compared for the rest of their careers, no matter where it goes. Kind of like Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. Because remember, before that NFL draft, they were saying some prognosticators or some people in the media were saying that Ryan Leaf was better than Peyton Manning. That Ryan Leaf should have been whatever the number one pick then. That he earned it. That he is better. That he's the best. And that yada 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 yada. And now obviously years later, we know that wasn't true, and we might laugh at them about it because of how much I guess Ryan Leaf was a bust. I think part of that was just an anger issue at that time, him being young, him having a short fuse. I mean, I know how he is. I used to have that issue with anger and short fuses. So I kind of get where he is. But then again, it also was a play on the field. But if you think about it in a psychosomatic way, psychology, him having that short fuse then replicated there on the field, and then him getting frustrated during a game made him just do dumb mistakes and interceptions and then all the other antics off the field. So it all correlates together. Kind of like a butterfly effect. One thing happened and it just steamrolled his NFL career, which could have been better. Who knows? Maybe it was just what it was, or maybe if that anger issue or if that short fuse wasn't there and part of his personality, maybe his NFL career would have been a lot better. Not saying he's going to be as good to be in Hall of Fame, or I don't know. I'm just saying it would have been better than the outcome that happened. But anyways, to come back to the topic, I was talking about Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning and their situation in the NFL draft at that time. because I'm correlating it with Andrew Luck and RG3. You never know where it'll go. Maybe it'll be a situation where RG3 will have a down year. He'll be a, as they say, renaissance man or a journeyman quarterback and being back up for teams and never being able to to be back to where he was that freshman year or rookie year in the NFL. And that's too bad. I respect the guy, obviously, talent and everything, but there comes a point in time, and it seems like he's coming now with that headway of yeah, he has great talent, but I think there's something else there that he doesn't have, something else there that he needs to find, and if he does not find that said thing to be uh, a franchise quarterback, whether it's for Washington or for the Giants or whatever team that might pick him up, if the rumors are true about trading him, then he's not going to be the RG3 of old. I'm sorry, he's just not going to be. And then maybe it'll get to the point where the comparison between RG3 and Andrew Luck before the NFL draft will be laughable 15 years from now, just as people now of the Ryan Leaf, Peyton Manning comparisons from their draft class. I'm just saying it could be going down that road. And if I was a Washington Redskins fan, to be quite honest, I would just want to wash my hands of it and let Dan Snyder trade him. And hopefully you can get something good back in return for your team. For your team to then be able to move on. Have Kirk Cousins have a quarterback battle with somebody else that Jay Gruden really wants there, because as much as Jay Gruden is still talking about, RG3 still has a chance to maybe make the roster if he does this and yada yada. I'm sure in his heart of hearts he's thinking, no, I don't want him even on my roster anymore. I want somebody else, someone I think deserves to be here, at least in Jay Gruden's opinion. But either way, we'll see how that unfolds. Other news in the NFL, whether old or new. Tyrod Taylor announced as the starting quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. Circle the wagons there in Buffalo, as Chris Berman likes to say. I think for the Buffalo Bills, that was best for business. I think that was the best choice for them to pick. I mean, think about it. Yeah, EJ Manuel was someone that should have been and was groomed to be the future of the Buffalo Bills, the second coming of Jim Kelly. Some people were saying, not a lot, but there is minority of individuals, whether Buffalo fans or media people, that thought that could be the case, or at least the Bills were trying to groom him to be that heir apparent, the second coming, the whatever, of Jim Kelly. Not only the greatest Buffalo Bill quarterback, one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks of all time, and obviously for me, my number one of all time is Brett Favre. Whether you think that's biased or not, that's your opinion, and I respect it. And hopefully you respect mine, because I say Brett Favre's number one in my list of all-time quarterbacks, not just because he was a Green Bay Packer and he gave us a Super Bowl, but because he's playing the field, the way he played, him being the Iron Man of the NFL during his career. So, obviously since he started, and after his freshman or rookie year there with the Atlanta Falcons, because he was not drafted by the Packers. I know most people know that, but not everybody knows that. He was drafted by the Atlanta Falcons in 1992, I believe, or 93. 91, 92, 93. I get my years messed up. I do apologize. But anyways, he was drafted by the Falcons. They didn't really want to use him, so they traded him to the Green Bay Packers. The same year, we also got Reggie White for the Philadelphia Eagles, EDP and Philadelphia's team, the Eagles there. And then the Packers tradition restarted, because technically it was started back with Vince Lombardi, Paul Hornung, Bart Starr, the star quarterback, and now, if you think about it, even though with the times of the lulls between Bart Starr after Super Bowl II to Brett Favre and the 90s, those were, I think these three, Bart Starr, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers currently, Mount Rushmore quarterbacks, not only for the Green Bay Packers, but for the NFL, in my opinion, and Brett Favre is number one there. But back to on topic of Tyrod Taylor, I still think he's best for business for the Buffalo Bills, because of who he's going up against. EJ Manuel is supposed to be the next Jim Kelly. You got Matt Castle, who you pick up off the streets in a way and see, okay, let's see what he got and see if he can be someone. Here's his chance. He's actually in the running for a starting job. Whether we believe or not believe what the Bills were saying all off season after they picked him up, um, I believe it. Some don't. So he really had a legitimate shot, obviously, and all three did. And Tyrod Taylor, just from his play from the preseason games, um, I think it was more what he did than what the other two didn't do, in my opinion, and how he was named the starting quarterback. So that's good. I know the Bills wanted to hold off and this not have it be public, but it's 2015. Some fan or somebody is going to figure it out, or someone in the Buffalo Bills building. And I don't mean like a top person. I mean maybe just a general worker, employee, get a sniff of this information and get it out. Why not be that one to try to be like an insider? Uh, I mean, that's what I want to be at some point, an insider for the Green Bay Packers. Have a podcast specifically with the Green Bay Packers. Then being able to get Green Bay Packers on as guests and interview them, have interviews, uh, really make this show flourish, and would be great for me, obviously, moving forward. But as much as they wanted to keep it tight-lipped, and I understand why, especially if it was going to be Tyrod Taylor. He's a whole different set of circumstances, different offense, different playbook that you have to plan for as a defensive, as the opposing team. Week one, you don't make it known until an hour before the game because that's when they have to give out injury reports and the list of starters and all that other stuff, that sort of stuff, or each week. And at that point, then they know it's Tyrod Taylor, and they have 1 hour to prepare. I'm just saying, not saying that I forget who they play in week one, not saying they don't have a plan for each of them. If the Bills were able to hold on to this information, I'm just saying it would have been, and I understand why Rex Ryan and the Bills wanted to try to do that, but it got out the same day. I kind of saw how it was, and so did, even the people at ESPN after they reported that the Bills wanted to try to keep it secret. All they announced that they named someone, and then later in the day, by I think it was 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock Central, um, it was out there for the world to know that it was indeed Tyrod Taylor. So congratulations to him. And I remember from his days in college and everything, I thought he could have been something, should have been something. I mean, had situations that arose in the beginning of his NFL career. I saw a little bit of flashes of something of him be able to do something. And heck, even part of me thought, if he's available, maybe Green Bay should get him. With our situation with the backups, whether at this time or any time. So I, at least thought that much of him. Other thing, he's Pittsburgh Steelers picking up Michael Vick. It was an interesting pickup. He did pretty well in his first game there in the preseason after getting picked up by the Steelers. But not really much else to say about that. I mean, good for Mike Vick. Hopefully, something can happen out of it. I mean, obviously, I don't see him beating up Ben, the starting quarterback spot, anytime soon or ever. But being a service backup is always best for business from the NFL and for your NFL team because if Big Ben gets injured, you never know. Week one, play number one on offense, Big Ben could be out, tearing an ACL on the first play, trying to be like a superhero and trying to, dodge tackles and everything and tear his ACL. And what are the Steelers going to do then if they didn't have Michael Vick? And that could be said about a lot of teams. I know that, but I'm just specifically about the Steelers. Having Mike Vick as a backup for Ben Roethlisberger. Then if Ben gets injured, you have him to plug in and move forward from there. I apologize. I am just looking at my list of notes here for this episode. Sorry, I just have to let someone know I'll be in live because they might want to be able to join. So just give me a moment. See, this is where I wish I had a co-host, that I wouldn't have this dead air and look all unprofessional. I do apologize. But anyways, the other news there was the Minnesota Vikings, their new stadium being constructed. They don't get to go into that stadium and debut it into their first home game of the next season, 2017 NFL season. No, 2006 NFL season, September 2016. Which coincidentally, 2016 had to be 10 years, our 10-year reunion for my high school, since obviously I graduated in 2006. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. But anyways, so the Vikings also, getting a Super Bowl. They might be getting their new stadiums to be getting a WrestleMania for all WWE fans out there. So that's good news for the Vikings now. For their team, depending on how things go, maybe they have a shot to get to the Super Bowl the year it's in Minnesota. Out of all the teams that have had Super Bowls in their building, in their stadium, and it ended up being the Minnesota Vikings being that team to go into a Super Bowl in their stadium, out of the teams of the Dolphins, the Cowboys, 49ers, other great teams, at least at that time or that era or whatever, that could have been the one. It might end up being a team, a growing team, obviously, a team getting better on the rise team of the Minnesota Vikings being the one to be that NFL team to say that they were the only ones that made it to the Super Bowl. Maybe even if they win that one, you never know. But at least go to the Super Bowl that's in their home stadium. I mean, heck, they don't have to travel far. Just travel as far as they do for any game, obviously, because it's in their building. So that's interesting as well. Just I had those other notes sitting for me. Obviously, I had those already before this news broke this morning. And obviously, for people like me, people for ESPN, I was talking about Tom Brady, and I think the Tom Brady subject is going to get most views for this video, or for any person's podcast or show or just general video on Tom Brady situation. So I'm gonna give my 2 cents here. I talked about a little bit as well on Talking WWE with Jay earlier this evening. You can check them out, youtube.com/Talking WWE with Jay. And near the end of that episode, it's a pro wrestling podcast, but here on YouTube. But near the end, we were talking about the Tom Brady situation. I kind of said a little bit, and I'm gonna, kind of say it verbatim again, or at least close to. That I did expect this type of ruling to come down. I didn't think that he deserved to be punished for the 4 games or suspended. I didn't even think the Patriots should have gotten the punishments they got, because I think it all stems back to the Ray Rice situation, in my opinion. In my opinion, I think it has to do with the Ray Rice situation more than it has to do with the actual Deflategate itself. The fact that Roger Goodell went lenient on Ray Rice in the beginning with only a 2-game suspension. And then after the video that came out that the NFL should have had, yada yada, and that song and dance, and the NFL media, or the media, and NFL Nation, NFL fans, gave it to him, I guess you can say, or whatever, got angry and upset that he was too lenient, and that's understandable. I agree. Domestic violence of any kind is not tolerated. Whether it was the Ray Rice situation or the Adrian Peterson situation, in all honesty. So the fact that he went lenient there, he decides to go on the whole other spectrum, the other stream here in the Tom Brady situation, Deflategate. And without the proof that he could have had in the Ray Rice situation, he decides to levy the hammer. That quote unquote the hammer to the Patriots organization and to Tom Brady. And even as the judge said in his ruling that Roger Goodell was giving his own brand of justice, or however that was worded, you know what I mean. You've all have been watching on ESPN or on radio, whether it's ESPN radio or Jim Rome or others. I'm trying to think of others. Dan Patrick's show in the morning, Bill Michael Sports here locally. I think it is broadcast nationally as well. So everybody was talking about it some more than others. Obviously, people in the New England area, those fans like the Joe Cronin show, a fellow WWE, I guess you call podcast host, is a New England Patriots fan, lives in that area, and I saw his video on YouTube about his reaction to it, and I agree with him 100%. Obviously, I'm a Packer fan. I'm a Packer shareholder, and this podcast is called Talking Packers with Steve. So I'm all Packers, obviously. But I have much respect for the New England Patriots and what they have done and what they have built in the dynasty with Tom Brady, with Bill Belichick, and with all the other players on those teams from when Brady started all the way to now. You know, it's kind of like for us in the Packer Nation, Brett Favre and Mark McCarthy, not Mike McCarthy, Mike Holmgren, Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy, and Bart Starr and Vince Lombardi. And them having their Super Bowl victories and everything. People that hate the Patriots, and I respect you if you do. I guess that's your opinion, and that's your opinion. I'm not going to be able to change that, but I'm just letting you know what I think. And I think, like I said, this ruling was where I thought it was going to go, just from what the judge was. He was giving it to the NFL lawyer in a proceeding in the past, from everything. Some other little things from the proceedings, as well as as that process was going on. So now he'll be able to play next Thursday. Obviously that's the number one thing, and also the NFL is going to try to fight it, but since it won't be able to be expedited, as in brought up to the second circuit court until the end of the season, then obviously Tom Brady will be able to play the whole entire season, as it should have been, in my opinion. I think in the end, it's just the Colts, quite honest, the Colts organization trying to get something on the Patriots with the Ravens, just because the Patriots beat them a couple times in the past, or they don't like the Patriots just in general, so they decide to try to tattletale on them, and it backfired. Now, obviously, the Colts or the Ravens aren't going to get any reprimand of it. It's just more of a childish act than it is anything wrong in the eyes of the NFL. But still, it's something to think about. And like I said, in my opinion, I kind of saw this coming with this decision, and it was the right decision. So I agree with Joe, of the Joker on Joe, 100% on everything that he said in his video. Now, he was saying the perspective of a Patriot fan. I'm saying as an outsider from the Patriot Nation, here at Packer Nation, and still agreeing as well. So just letting you know from whom it's coming from. I just think, you know what? I'm gonna put it to you like this. Now, I don't know how many of you that are watching this live. Thank you, first off. But whether you're watching this live or watching this later on the channel, I'm gonna equate it to WWE and John Cena. See, John Cena has a love-hate relationship with the WWE universe. One half hates his freaking guts, and no matter what he does, whether he seems like he's going to lose a feud or put somebody over, they're going to find a way to hate on him and have him be the reason of something or whatever. That he buries people, or that he won't put people over, and specifically with the situation with him and Wade Barrett, back when Wade Barrett was with the Nexus, stuff like that. So here in the NFL, that equivalent is the New England Patriots. So what John Cena is to the WWE universe, to be quite honest, John Cena in the WWE universe is what the Patriots are to the NFL universe, or the NFL nation, the NFL fans, or at least the NFL haters, or the Patriot haters. Maybe I didn't say that right, but you know what I mean. But the WWE universe, them hating / loving him, half and half, and it always been known the Patriots as an organization, not just Tom Brady specifically, but the New England Patriots are that way in the NFL eyes. There's no middle ground. You either like them, you don't have to be a fan of them. It doesn't mean like everybody that's a fan of them. It's like, I just mean just in general, even from the outsiders. Heck, a Cincinnati Bengals fan to look at the Patriots situation and be like, okay, I respect the Patriots. Or a Raiders fan, or me, the Packer fan, or whatever. So I'm saying there's that side that you'll either like them and and or respect the Patriots, or you hate their guts, you think they cheated at anything that they did, that all their titles are tainted, they should give back all their Super Bowl rings, and they should go hide in a hole or something, I don't know, and never be seen again, or they should get rid of their team and just forfeit games and go 0-16 just because that you hate them that much. Now, like I said, I respect your opinion, but I think that's taken a little bit too far. Just like with John Cena and his haters. I respect them. Heck, I talk to them. I'm even friends with a couple of them that I chat with sometimes on my WWE podcast Twitter handle, at WWE_podcast. And there's some things that I agree with them on. That's why we're able to have a respectful conversation. Like, I don't block them, they don't block me just because we disagree. We respect each other, and we just agree to disagree. And we can see each other's signs of things. It's compromise. That's the word I'm looking for. Compromise. Me and some of the John Cena haters compromise, and he agrees with a couple of things I have to say, and I agree with a couple of things on his point, on his side, where I can see his thinking, and he can, as I hope, can see mine. And hopefully it can be the same thing with the New England Patriots. You know, the ones that hate them and think everything that they've ever done is tainted can at least listen to the people that's on the other side and respect them and like them, or even obviously the Patriots fan and the Patriots nation themselves. You know, that live this team or that team. That both sides can at least get to that general understanding. The understanding that this one and this one, they're not going to make them change the other's mind. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen with the WWE Universe and John Cena, with those fans. And it's not going to happen in the NFL, with the NFL fans of either side. They're not going to, I mean, maybe once in a blue moon, but very rarely you're going to turn a John Cena hater to a John Cena fan, or, you know, at least respecting him. And you're not going to turn a Patriots hater to a Patriots fan or respecting them. You know what I mean? But you can get to a common point where those groups of fans can get to where they respect each other's decision, agree or disagree, and just listen to each other. That's the first step, listening to each other. Because let's say you have a John Cena hater trying to explain something to a John Cena fan, or respecting him, like, you know, like I said, me and some others that I talked to. The first part of it is listening to the other's opinion. And first off, respecting that person's opinion, whether you agree with it or not. And then the second step is then, oh, maybe you have a point here, or no, I strongly disagree with that one there. You know, you'll still get that because you're on different sides of the aisle on that topic. But coming to the table and being able to talk and have a semi-professional, respectful opinion is the main thing. I mean, I don't know how much I can stress that. That is the first thing, and that's the situation with the New England Patriots. I apologize, my camera moving. It is to be able to get to that point, respecting each other, talking, and listening to each other's opinions. Like, you know, the Patriot hater will say, all their Super Bowl rings are tainted because of this, this, and this. And then the other person in that conversation will say, you know, on the other side will say, no, I don't think they all are. But I understand your thinking on a couple. You know what I mean? Then again, there's not that many rings to go talk about. You know, it's finding that common ground, at least respecting the other person's thoughts, especially when it comes to the New England Patriots. That's why I said what John Cena is to the WWE Universe, the New England Patriots are to the NFL fans. In the way that there's like it's the big talking point. It's the team that people love to hate. Like, people love to hate John Cena. Some people, I'm not saying all, you know, so don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to say all the John Cena haters are this way. Because like I said, I talked to some of them, I respect some of them, and I'm even friends with some of them. But some of them just like to hate on John Cena, to have a reason to dislike him, and to talk crap about him at any turn they can get. Like I said, that's a minority of them, not all of them. Just my opinion. And the same thing with the New England Patriots. The ones that hate them are just going to say it because they can. Because they can. First Amendment rights, the right to their opinion. That's fine. I respect it. But some just do it to do it. And some take it too far, in my opinion. And it's just too bad. It's just, I wish it wasn't that way, but it just is that way. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. I guess it's with my personality, wanting everybody to at least respect each other. You don't have to like everybody, but respecting everybody is what would be great. But as the world is life, it's not that way. So, but like I said, back in the whole ruling and Tom Brady's situation, I'm glad he's going to be back in the NFL. I look forward to watching Thursday night, next Thursday. Obviously, a week from today. I'm a busy man, busy boy. On Thursday nights, I have Talking WWE with Jay and Stephen A. Then I have Main Event Marks, and all these are on YouTube. Main Event Marks on their channel, youtube.com/Main Event Marks. And then this one, hopefully, will be part of the rotation later in the evening here, Talking Packers with Steve on my own channel. So I'm busy with being on camera for at least, I think it's like 3 to 4 hours after 7 p.m. on Thursday evening. So that's fun. Get to share my opinions about pro wrestling in the first two, and here on my own show, Talking NFL. So that, like I said, the Tom Brady situation and the New England Patriots as an organization are, I swear, always, whether good or bad, trending on Twitter, trending on Facebook. I think there even is a thing called trending on Facebook on topics and in the groups on Facebook and whatever. They are the NFL in a way, as in they're the face that runs the place in a way, just like John Cena in the WWE, because he is still their number one guy. Heck, he's going to be getting a match at Night of Champions. I do apologize talking about WWE, but still, I'm trying to correlate it here. He's still going to get a match with Seth Rollins for the United States Championship at Night of Champions. The next upcoming WWE pay-per-view. New England Patriots and Tom Brady got a ruling today, this morning, on their behalf, on their side. And in both situations, the WWE Universe and the NFL fans that hate them, whatever, are going to find a reason to think that John Cena or the New England Patriots still did something wrong, something negative, or that they're getting away with something. Especially with the Patriots, people are still going to think and believe that they did cheat, that Tom Brady knowingly did it, and he just got off. I know that already, and I've already seen that on Twitter. Trust me, I've seen it on Twitter. Just all you have to do, I think it's hashtag Patriots suck or hashtag ruling or something like that. I don't remember, but all you have to do is, or maybe even just search Tom Brady. Search the name Tom Brady, and all those tweets good. There's obviously the good ones in the favorite, and then you see all those other ones. But like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's that's how it is. First Amendment rights, freedom of speech. There you go. But like I said, some, whether it's in the John Cena case or in the NFL case of the Patriots, go too far. And that, I don't know. It bugs me, and it really shouldn't, because that's just how it is. Like, I should just, deal with it. And I will, obviously, because I can't do anything about it. Free speech. So I will deal with it, but it's still something that's bothering me, like, some people taking it so far. Whether it's talking about the New England Patriots, or whether it's John Cena in the WWE. And that's too bad, but it is what it is. I think those are all the topics I wanted to discuss. Obviously, Tom Brady being the biggest thing. Obviously, talking about the Packers, the roster for all NFL teams before this fourth preseason game had to come down to 75, I believe. You can start, you can open camp with 90 man rosters. Then it goes down to 75, and then before the regular season, obviously, it goes down to the regular 53 man roster. I think the number one thing, you want to talk about another polarizing situation. Another thing that's going to be interesting to see is if Tim Tebow, someone that I respect, someone that I hope does well, but if Tim Tebow, Mr. Tebow, makes the Philadelphia Eagles as a third string quarterback, and I think he will. I think he actually will win that spot because you still have him on the 53 man roster. You can use him in a different way. You can use him as a wide receiver sometimes, but he's still listed at a quarterback. You can use him as a halfback. You can use him as a gosh darn running back if you need to be. Just ask Philadelphia or EDP. Um, I'm sure that they would be fine with Tebow doing that. Well, I don't know about EDP, but maybe Philadelphia. Because you just gotta know what you have with him. He has the running ability. He has potential to be something. And to be quite honest, if people gave him a chance, he worked on it a little bit more, he would be able to be a better quarterback. And maybe even if a team gives him a shot, a true and real shot, he could be a starting quarterback in the NFL again. Just just my opinion. I think that all the slack that he gets in negativity is unwarranted in some respects, but it's there. And so I'm gonna be watching that with bated breath. Definitely, I'm hoping that Tebow gets that spot, doesn't get cut. I think he deserves to have a chance. I know Chip Kelly can use him in other ways, with his craziness of offensive schemes and everything. I think Tom Brady, or not Tom Brady, Tim Tebow, Tim Tebow has a place there in Philadelphia, and hopefully Chip Kelly sees that and he makes the roster. I really do, and all the luck to him. I want him to succeed. Heck, I wanted him to succeed in Denver, but then again, Peyton Manning got to the point where he was going to end his career in Indianapolis. What were we going to do then? Obviously, you're going to go with Peyton Manning. I mean, I like you, Tim Tebow, but if you have a chance to get Peyton Manning, you're going to get Peyton freaking Manning, okay? So that was understandable with that situation. But if that didn't happen, if Peyton Manning wasn't available, I would have hoped that Denver would have kept on the Tim Tebow train and give him a chance another season or seasons. I just don't know. I just hope that would have been the case if Peyton Manning did not come available to be picked up by the Denver Broncos. But here with Philadelphia, having this other chance, having a true chance, and making the roster, being used in some way, that's cool. That's real cool. And hopefully, if he does make the team and makes the roster and is put in those games in whatever situation Chip Kelly puts him in, that he makes the best of it, that he shines, that he shows that he belongs in the NFL. Because a person can be given so many opportunities at something, and if you mess it up, especially with Tim Tebow in his situations, quarterback, then there's going to be a point that people aren't just going to give you a chance anymore because you're not showing it. You're not showing your potential. You're not showing that you can be what you were in college. But hopefully here in New England or in Philadelphia, he gets it right and he's able to. And he is able to shine and he shows something. And the lights are the brightest, in the regular season, and when he is able to get on the field in whatever situation, that he makes the most of that play or that possession or that drive that he gets to be in the lineup for, whatever. Whether it's one play, one drive, whatever, he makes the most of it, and kicks butt and takes names in a way, that he does well, that he shines, that he shows again, that he shows that he deserves to be in the NFL, not just on the Philadelphia Eagles roster and team, but in the NFL in general. Because if in the end it doesn't work out in Philadelphia, then he has more availability to be traded somewhere else, and then another team will maybe even give him a shot to be a starting quarterback on their roster. There are teams out there that have three quarterbacks, which also means they have no quarterback. So there are still teams out there that their fan base will tell you that they might need a starting quarterback. If people show something this season as a quarterback at some point or in another position, that maybe the next offseason he will be picked up by that said team and given a chance to be a starting quarterback. I'd be able to give that chance to show what he's made of. And I just hope he makes the best of it. I'm sure he will. But I think that's the other big storyline going into the regular season besides Tom Brady being back with the Patriots. And that's the other thing. The New England Patriots will now be able to unveil that Super Bowl banner on the day that it is supposed to be shown. The first game of the NFL season, I did not want that to be taken away from the Patriots. Yeah, I'm a Packer fan. I wouldn't want that to be taken away from the Packers if we win a Super Bowl, or the next time we do win a Super Bowl. And let's say Aaron Rodgers, or whoever's our quarterback then got in trouble in the same situation. I would want him to be exonerated, be able to be there, for those ceremonies, for that moment. Because Tom Brady and the New England Patriots worked hard in last year to earn that Super Bowl championship. And it would have just been bad if they would have not been able to all be there and not be able to even unveil it until whatever suspension would have been done. Which in this situation would have been week 6 because they have a bye week in week 5. I think week 6 then against the Indianapolis Colts, ironically. That would have been good TV, but I'm glad they're able to do it when it's supposed to be done on their first home game. Kicking off the season as Super Bowl champions are given that privilege to be that first and only game to kick off the next NFL season. And I'm just glad that is able to happen for him and for that organization. So, like I said, that was just my opinion on that and my opinion on all other NFL news. My next episode will be next week, obviously next week. I'm thinking next week, Thursday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, one of those days. Either way, I will then be live talking NFL news, and with the NFL season coming up next weekend, that's going to be another big episode. Each episode's big in its own way, but that one in particular with the NFL season on the horizon, especially if I do it on Wednesday or Thursday. If I do it Thursday night, then the game is in progress. Or I can do it Wednesday night before the game and just give my preview for the Packer game, for the other games, run the schedule down, talk about each and every matchup for week 1, just how I want the podcast to be during an NFL season. You've seen a couple episodes now, whether it was live or back on Blog Talk Radio, on how I do it for the off season, trying to talk other news and news and notes and general things. And some days and some weeks are slower than others, obviously. But when we get into the NFL season, I just like to have my episodes with, obviously talking about the past week and coming to the next week. So obviously next week will be 100% looking into the first week of the NFL season, of all the games, the Packer matchups. Obviously, we talk about the Packer game more than the others, but obviously all NFL teams and all matchups will be getting their airtime here on Talking Packers with Steve here on YouTube.com. So like I said, if you're not subscribed, you're welcome to subscribe. My video, I think, hit over 200 views. My episode 9 review of MTV Scream. So thanks to everybody that viewed that. I did get a couple of subscribers out of that. It would have been great to get all 206 of them, but you can't make them subscribe. You can only ask. So again, if you're not subscribed, you're welcome to subscribe, share, and like this video. Give it a thumbs up and like it, and let your friends know about it. And I think that'll be a wrap. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy the college football kickoff stuff. Big games on Saturday. The Badgers playing at Jerry World, which is ironic because it's the same place the Packers played for the Super Bowl. For Super Bowl 31. So that'll be kind of cool to play. That'll be a big game, Alabama and Wisconsin, on Saturday night. So I don't know if I'll be able to watch that game. I have other things going on for my weekend. Highly looking forward to. But if I don't catch the game, I definitely will. Seeing enough of it on SportsCenter in the evening. So, anyways, everybody have a great weekend. Take care. Stay safe. I'll see you all in the next episode.